Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to do a match recap of the match between the Oklahoma City Thundurus and the Newcastle Nidokings, Reid versus Tanner. This match, it seemed to go really one-sided throughout the entire time, but Tanner came out with the win with a 2-0 victory, and it was specifically because nothing out on Reid's team outsped Salamence, and Tanner set it up, I think, in a pretty good way for Salamence to sweep late game. Had Reid went Jolly Nature with the Charizard X, it may have made a difference. It would have been a speed tie between the two, so it would all came down to a 50-50 chance whether Reid went first or if Salamence went first. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go play by play or see what mistakes were made. Just go with what my thought process is. What could have helped each person. I don't know exactly what each person brought for each Pokemon, but I'm just going to go off the top of my head and just explain stuff based off of the common sets that you would bring on each Pokemon. So right here, this is a definite no-no for Reid. He needs to switch out immediately. Probably go to a Celesteela. Probably get a heavy slam off. That if not, it would probably kill it, the Ninetales. But yeah, you'll see right here that Tanner just goes for an Aurora Veil and Reid goes for a Stealth Rock. I guess that's okay. In all honesty, Tanner should have just hit a Blizzard or Freeze Dry, whatever he had, if he was using that move. It was a pretty good move, I think, especially with the Landers is a huge threat, and Donphan, both weak to Ice. And since the hail's up, he can always hit Blizzard. So Blizzard's a really good bring here. That's it. He should have done this first turn. Right here, I don't understand why Tanner went to his Raikou. I think, in my personal opinion, I think Rotom would have been better here. That's what I would have done. I probably would have made the Rotom specifically to counter this Celesteela, and probably pack Thunderbolt in case I end up in a situation where I have Rotom versus Milotic, which I wouldn't want that matchup. Scald would probably take it down to 40-30% with one hit. I don't know. But yeah, I don't understand this right here. The Leech Life just hurts him pretty bad, and then he goes for a Calm Mind. There's no point in this. He's just setting up his Raikou to die. Even if he has a Leech Life. Yeah, he has the Aurora Veil, but just an Earthquake from this thing is just gonna kill if he somehow lives. So there's no way I'm risking my Raikou at all. Actually, the perfect chance right here, this is a perfect chance for him to bring out Salamence and start setting up with Dragon Dance. Like, that's such a great move for him to do, but instead he just goes for an HP Ice, I believe. It doesn't really do as much as he thought it would, and he just gets killed by the Earthquake. So his Raikou is doomed to die right there. It made no sense. He kind of just sacked it off, and yeah, I didn't like that at all. And then right here, I don't know why he went to Fraligator. I guess that's a good move for the Donphan, but if you just look, Salamence just sweeps through this team. It just wrecks his team. So for him to go to Fraligator, it's an okay move, but I would have preferred the Salamence here because of a Dragon Dance. And then he unveiled the Ice Shard as well, so you have to keep that in your mind. That does a pretty good amount of damage. And that right there was no point for Reid to even go into Celesteela. Like, I don't understand why he would. The best move is to go to Milotic and get that Flame Orb off and just raise his defense. But he just let his Celesteela just take a crap ton of damage. What did it go down to? 48%. That's huge because Celesteela is one of his walls. There's no way I would allow that to happen with one of my walls. And this is like the perfect situation where Reid's at, because all he has to do is just click Scald to burn this thing, and Infraligator's not as useful. But as you can see, he goes for Haze. It's a really good bring. Takes away his stats, so then he has to go for another Dragon Dance, and he doesn't do enough damage, so he can just sit here and recover. That's good. Right here, Reid's playing really well with the Milotic. He got the all the way back up. He could have easily got greedy and used Scald, but why risk a crit from a crunch that he's been using? Yeah, recover was such a good move. And then he Scald, and I think he gets to burn here. Yeah. Right here, and when you see he's burned, there's no point for you to be here. You need to just switch out, predicting he's going to recover. Like, he's at 40%. I think. 62. 56. You kind of had the feeling he's going to have to recover here, because if you attack him 2 more times, he probably dies or he gets close to it. He doesn't want to risk it. But again, the burn has the attack, so yeah, it only does 15%. Reid would have been fine, but Tanner needed to switch out like right then and there. And he goes into his Rotom, which I would not have done at all. I don't like this move. And see, 64% done to it. And what Reid should have done is he should have just attacked it again. But I think the Rotom would have been faster. 86. Yeah, Milotic's pretty slow, isn't it? No, it's 81. So it was pretty close. If Tanner went max speed with this thing, then he has no problem. But all Reid had to do was just speed creep this Rotom Heat, since it's like 81 base speed to Tanner's 85 or 86, I can't remember. So it's not, he don't have to put too many EVs into his speed to speed creep this thing. And I think that would have been really smart on him in case this situation comes up. Then you could just Scald and kill this thing. I imagine Reid was predicting the T-Bolt. I'm not exactly sure what you can do. I don't know why he keeps Ice Sharding. I think he has Earthquake, Ice Shard, Stealth Rock, and probably Rapid Spin. In all honesty, I would have let my Dawn Fan die right there in case he decided to use Pain Split. I would just let the Dawn Fan die. There's nothing that he really does here, in my opinion, since it's so low in health. And luckily, he doesn't. I don't think he's bringing a physical Landorus. If so, he's like bringing a mixed Landorus. So knockoff's good. Tanner's playing the Rotom pretty well right here. He got his health all the way back up, which is nice, and he's defogging the rocks away. So the burn will eventually catch up to Reid. So the Pain Split stall is really nice. Oh, he has leftovers, so it isn't going to matter too much. Yeah. All he had to do was just either wait for this move right here where Tanner goes for a defog and he could just kill the Rotom. But this is nice. He got rid of the rocks. Let's see what he can do with it. Again, this is a big no-no. There's no reason for you to be here to put up Stealth Rock. One Blizzard and you're dead. And this is, again, Tanner, this is a big misplay because you're not killing this Landers. This would be a big thing. Just kill the Landers right here. Just kill it. Don't worry about the Roar Veil. You can get it off some other time. Just kill this thing. But he's trying to set up, I think, for a Sandslash to come in. Okay, yeah, he just heal belled, which is really nice. Got his Fraligator, the burn off of it. It was beautiful. And that's really good because he's looking late game here. He doesn't know exactly what he can do in the future, but making sure that his Feraligatr is not burnt is really good. Really good switch. Yep. That Slush Rush from the Sand Slash, I don't think Reid was prepared for it. I'm not sure if I would have went for the Swords Dance because he unveiled the Haze before, but I mean, yeah, you got pretty good damage on there. I guess that was all right. I think that's a good, okay move, but I probably would have just went with a regular Earthquake. Okay, maybe he was predicting that he goes into Mew, why he went Leech Life. But you need to prioritize killing that Milotic. Because if that thing recovers and you don't hit it with an Earthquake right there, Tanner, then that Milotic's not going to die, and it's just going to keep being a pest to your team. Alright. And unfortunately, the hail goes away. And the Sand Slash is dead. But it did pretty good work. He's going to set up an Aurora Veil. Oh, he roared it out. Okay, that was good. Yeah, he roared it out. Then he sets up an Aurora Veil. Nasty plot. And at this point, there's nothing that Tanner can do about this. He had to at least just set up an Aurora Veil for his Salamence right here. And this is where Reid didn't really set himself up to win late game, I think. What I would have done right here... Okay, yeah, he unveils the Intimidate, so you know he's not going Moxie Boost. And he sees this special attack on the Mew. I would assume that he would go for a Z move and not a Dragon Dance. There's no reason for him to Dragon Dance right here. I would just sack off the Donphan right here. And that would let your Mew stay alive. So this is a huge misplay on Reid's part. Yeah, he just lets his Mew die. I would have just sacked off the Donphan right there. And then right here, this should have been a speed tie, but he didn't go Jolly Nature. He went with an Adamant Nature. And that just let his Charizard die. And yeah, Ice Shard behind an Aurora Veil. I did the calcs. Ice Shard does, I think, a max of 31%, 32% to the Salamence even without the Aurora Veil. And Tanner just pretty much sweeps Reid's team right here. And I'm assuming, I'm not exactly sure what kind of HP that is, but I would have packed HP Ice in case of something like this came about. Like, there's no way I would not have a third or fourth option to make sure the Salamence dies. I think he had the Ice Shard. He thought it was going to do more damage, but it did not. I would hope that he was packing Ice Beam on the Milotic, but it's so low of health, it's not going to matter. You could have probably packed something, probably Ice Beam as well. But having just the HP Ice right here, I would have packed it for the Salamence. There's no way I don't have like a third or fourth option to kill the Salamence. And a sneaky HP Ice from him would have done pretty good. Probably would have killed the Salamence. And there we go. He just kills it. I think there was a lot of misplays from both sides. And I think the not putting Jolly on your Charizard was pretty bad. Both were 100 base speed. So it would have just been a speed tie. And anytime anybody comes across that, you need to just make sure you try to outspeed their fastest Pokemon. If it's like a 100 to 101 that they have 101 base speed Pokemon, you have 100, and there's just that slight chance that they don't go with a Jolly Nature or a Timid Nature, you need to just go ahead and do Jolly or Timid Nature just to try to outspeed it, just for the hope that you do outspeed it. But yeah, I think there was a lot of misplays. I think Reid could have really won this had he just done a few predictions and probably packed an HP Ice on the Celesteela. But yeah, I think it was really winnable for Reid. But it wasn't out of the reach for Tanner as well. So like for him to come back, it was really good. I thought it was a really good match overall. So if I lost to this, I wouldn't have been so mad. But yeah, good match to you both on this one, and I hope this really helps both of you understand what you did wrong, and hopefully you can kind of fix these mistakes, I guess, in the future. But yeah, well done on this match.
Okay, wake up in the morning to the clear blue sky. Turn up the music when I hop in the ride. The windows down, let the whole world see. Ain't nobody rock it like little old me. I'm the bomb and about to blow up. I'm the bomb and about to blow up. I got my trucks and my dickies and I put it on black. Banging Sinatra in a flat.